Wars unboxing. I am your host Darthtuba, and today we got a bunch of different things that we're going to focus our energies on. First, we have in the brand new category, or newish, I should say, we have 3 of the Hot Wheels that we're going to open up. I've really enjoyed opening up the Hot Wheels. They're pretty simple to open up. There is a neat playable factor with them, and I'm hoping to find some sort of a really cool way to display them. So we have, of course, the Jawa, okay, and then we also have the Princess Leia. I figured in light of the recent tragic news of Carrie Fisher's passing, in honor of her, the best way an unboxer can do something is with an unboxing of a toy themed around the princess, so Princess Leia. And we have the First Order Flame Trooper, okay. In addition to that, we have another newer item, which is a 2-pack featuring Darth Maul and one of the seventh sister Inquisitor, okay, one that's very recent. And for the kind of older one, we have the Battle over Endor 4-pack. Okay, it's actually 2 of 2. I'll probably open up the first one. This includes the following figures. It includes Major Meanda, okay, the TIE Fighter pilot, then Pulso Thurn, Blue 7, B-Wing pilot, Grizz Fricks, Red 5, a different Red 5, X-Wing pilot. Okay, so these are characters that you might have seen or that were there, maybe you didn't see them, or hear them over the Forest Moon of Endor during that climactic battle at the end of Return of the Jedi. So I'll talk a little bit more about this in a little bit. I did have to address one comment that was made, and it was kind of a rough comment, but somebody had said, something along the lines of, "You idiot, why are you unboxing all these toys? You're like totally ruining the value of these toys." My response to that is very simple. First of all, you are not going to see me doing an unboxing of, vintage Star Wars items. You won't see that. I do have 1 or 2 that I'm going to talk about, but they're already unboxed. They were purchased by me unboxed because I could never afford, even 20 years ago when I purchased it, there's no way I could even afford to purchase it, mint in the box, even back then. Okay, and I wouldn't be able to afford it now. So I can assure you that my collection is how do I put it? It is a collector's, it's maybe the poor man collectors, if there is such a thing. But whatever you want to call it, it's not something that I'm investing in, other than investing in the fun of collecting, and that's that. And to quote Steve Sansweet, an item is only worth what a person is willing to pay for it. And I just feel that, as I said, my original intent, my original modus operandi, if you will, is that I'm running out of room, and I want to see these things continue to be displayed. I don't want to put them in boxes. I don't want to put them in a storage unit. I don't want to put them on another building somewhere else, either on my property or somewhere else, somebody else's property, only to just collect dust and be in storage. Okay, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But none of the items that I open up are going to be worth loads of money 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. They're not. They were so mass-produced that there just wouldn't be that much of an interest. I think the most I could hope for is to pay money back. And what happens, too, I do sometimes thin out part of my collection here and there on eBay. Well, I found that when I take figures out of the package, I always do a free shipping on my eBay when I sell stuff. And, never to entice more buyers. But if you try to sell something like this on eBay for free shipping, you're going to spend, and you try to ship this, you're going to be spending at least $7 to $10 to ship it. So you have to figure that into the cost of the first opening bid. So if you say the opening bid you want to make $10 on it. So you open the bid at $20, which is actually not a bad price for this, but you might not get a lot of people biting at it. Okay, if they want a mint unboxed card, they might. I have to be honest. There's a little bit of wear and tear on the top. It's had a lot of dust. It had some moisture issues. So, that's not going to go. This has not been sitting, in an AFA graded, acrylic box where it hasn't collected any fluorescent light or dust. It just hasn't. I don't have that type of collecting setup in our home. So, in the end, I like the toy. I like the collection of figures. I will display them in a separate way, a different way. And you know, it's okay. And then plus, they're not really doing much in this photo. There's a couple of these that I really like, but they're not doing much in the photo. But I'm kind of going off track here. So I'll come back to this one. All right, and this one. So let's start with the toy with the different figures. Now I love these car shapes. I mean, Disney did kind of take this idea earlier in their parks, the Disney parks thing, and they did kind of a Disney Racers, which they do themed cars to all of their properties. You know, Pixar, the Disney park attractions, everything. But it's different. It's a different take on it, a little bit smaller. So I appreciate that. I love the art on the box. I think that's really fantastic. As I said in the past, my daughter is an illustration major in college, and I think she's hoping to find work in some type of creative design field. So here we go. So we have our Jawa. Got this little. It looks like it's like almost like a dune buggy, okay? And the racers on the back. It's pretty cool. Okay, so there is Mr. Jawa. I'll do the Flame Trooper next. I like the First Order Flame Troopers. I thought they were really cool characters, and I liked it in the spirit of Star Wars. Just because there's a cool costume and a cool character, cool looking character, doesn't mean you have to give it that much of a story. And I love the way they creatively designed. The flames are on the back. They're the flames. There's like as if they're shooting out kind of on rocket engines. So that's really cool too. Right. And lastly, the princess. So still really sad about that. But you know, it's part of life, I suppose. And the Star Trek fans have had to say goodbye to a lot of their main actors. So we Star Wars fans, you know, are no different. But getting into this actual toy, really cool setup. I love the shape of it. You know, it just has almost like a body shape, and it's got the Star Puffs, I believe, is the proper name for the hair pieces, okay? And really cool stuff. Now, they have a lot of Hot Wheels merchandise. I've really just been sticking to the cars. They have some play sets. The only thing I'm interested in, I doubt if anybody at Hot Wheels is listening, but if you are Hot Wheels or if you get this at some point, if there could be some type of a collector's case, but one that you can display. You know, like sometimes for other cars, you've had like tractor trailers that were open on the side. You can see them all. Or even glass collector, even a glass acrylic case or something of that nature would be cool. But these are really awesome. Loving them. So I'm gonna, and yeah, they take up a little less room when they're like that. All right, moving on to Seventh Sister, Inquisitor, and Darth Maul. Now, a lot of people have been a little bit critical of the Darth Maul story in both the Clone Wars and in Rebels. I, for one, am a big fan of it. I think that Darth Maul was just too awesome of a story there was too much of a story there. Like, what's his story? What's going on with him? And, you know, and again, it wasn't bad. I don't think it was a bad move to kill him off in Phantom Menace. You know, you needed to move the story along, and he was just, you know, he was a pawn. That's it. As cool looking as he was just a pawn. So you needed to have that finalization to make Phantom Menace feel like a movie with an ending, along with a few other things that went on there. But to bring him back in the way they did in the Clone Wars, I thought was very clever and unique and different. And, you know, I think that it was a good move on their part, and I hope that they continue to move his story forward a little bit. I hope it doesn't go on forever. I mean, I think he should have an ending. But, you know, I think that he does a good job. All right, this baby has a lot of little pieces. Okay, you know, we've got it's like we have some type of a rocket launcher. And I get that. You know, I'm not a big fan of the rocket launcher from a display standpoint. But, you know, let's face it. I mean, you know, like I always say, these are designed for kids to play with. You know, so there has to have a playability factor. You can't just design something that is only for the collector in mind. Another nice thing about when you get the figures is that you can really examine at least a decent, and get a little bit better viewpoint of it. Now I know that Darth Maul got sliced in the back, in the midsection. That raises a lot of questions on exactly how much more machine he is than man, or man over machine. But here it looks like his overall setup, it almost looks like he's got human legs, and just the bottom part of the legs are mechanical. Maybe that just is for the design of the figure to make it easy. Remember, they have had to cut some corners with that. And then we have the Seventh Sister. Man, the Seventh Sister and the brother and sister, whatever, all those characters, they were dismissed relatively quickly. I was actually surprised at how quickly they were dismissed. This one has like a weird. Oh, is that like spider thing? Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the episode that. Oh, I see. This goes on the back. Some cool stuff. Oh, I see. Yeah. No, that's. Oh, no good. No good. Well, we may have to. He doesn't want to stay on. So, we will. Yeah, it doesn't look like it would stay on at all. Oh, I see. Maybe this is for this. I don't know. Well, I'll have to play around with it. And then she does come also with a mask, which I always question that part of Star Wars. Like, what is with the blast shields? What possibly goes on that you would need a shield to completely blind your sight? I know Jedis can see, but their eyes can deceive them, so they don't trust them, and I get that. But I don't understand. What about the rest of the world that need their eyes? It's just kind of weird. But in any case, all right. So she's got her little. Let's see if I can. Hopefully, I appreciate the the need to keep costs down. Okay, so that the price of the figure isn't quite so bad. But I also have to say that there are some serious quality control issues. I'm going to have to use the Jawa to help keep her up. And I guess these guys have. Oh, that's what this is. All right, yeah. Now I know. Yeah. So this thing. Maybe maybe not. Sheesh. All right. Oh, and then she dropped her thing. See. Believe me, as a collector, I love this stuff. I do. I really do. But I also feel like sometimes, oh yeah, this is all part of this. This is similar to something on the other. There we go. Alright, so I put this on here. Like Darth Maul would need, I laugh because Darth Maul needs something like this, Here it goes. Now this is great and all, but in order for this to work, he also has a little hood for when he's like pretending to be an old hermit. To really bend him forward to balance it out. Oh, maybe too much. Keep trying out there, and hang on for a minute there, TV land people, or I should say YouTube land people. Come on, Darth Maul. See, this is the problem because he's gonna lean to the right. Okay. Well. The old days when we had stuff like this, what did we do? We just sat him down on their side. Boom. He's got robot legs anyway. We'll just pretend they're charging. All right. So leaves us to our final one for the day: the Battle Over Endor 4-pack. I would say 3-pack. And I also forgot to mention that this also includes an astromech, R2-T7. Okay. In the back it says bravery, skill, loyalty. These are defining characteristics of the starfighter pilots on both sides of the conflict at the Battle of Endor, whether they are rebels or Imperials. These elite pilots are all focused on the same goal: victory. They are deeply aware that they are deciding the future of the galaxy and will do everything they can to complete their mission. All right. So here we go. And again, my apologies to those that are cringing at the thought of me doing this. But as I mentioned before, the top of this box is almost got ground-in dust. Okay. It's also kind of feels a little moist. Not that it got, I've had a flood or two in here, but these things were up high. But there's still moisture in this basement, so not the best thing to have cardboard with. That's another reason why I'm doing a lot of these unboxings. So it does have a really cool backdrop though. So what I'm probably gonna do, I'm probably gonna keep this. okay? For the time being, anyway. And I will... Oh, but no, why? Oh, man. See, that would be nice if they did that. Well, alright. So, I am going to be a little bit creative here. And I'm going to... take each side of this, and I'm going to... Oh, I've knocked all of my other ones down, but that's okay. Because I really like this backdrop, and I do not want to see it go yet. So, I'm running this across where its fold is. Here we go. And now we have a nice little display piece to put our thing of heroes here. All right. So we'll start off with the droid R2-T7. Never have enough astromechs. You never can. I love it. Line him up there. Then we'll get Grizz Fricks, Red 5. I guess he's the replacement Red 5 for Luke Skywalker. By the way, spoiler alert, really cool Easter egg in Rogue One. Remember, Rogue One takes place right before the attack on the first Death Star, not the Battle of Endor, which is the attack on the second Death Star. But very, very cool moment where poor Red 5, he loses his spot because he gets killed in space. So a few days later, that position's open, so when Luke shows up, oh, we'll give you Red 5. I thought that was a really clever thing. So kudos to Gareth Edwards and the writers for putting that together. All right, there he goes. Okay. I wonder if this is the she's gonna blow one. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Put him next to his droid. I'm gonna lean him back so we can just lean back against there. Okay, continue our good guy over here with Palso Thurn, Blue 7, B-Wing pilot. Never understood the B-Wing pilot helmets. Didn't really feel like they were all that great. But he comes with a weapon. I'll let him hold it in his hand. If I can just get it in there. Yep, that's good. And he has this. So there he goes. Again, I'll take some pictures of this so you can see it up close. And lastly, Major Leanda. Scythe 1. S-C-Y-T-H-E. Scythe? Skith? Scythe? It's probably an expanded universe thing, which has since been blown up. So, probably doesn't matter that much. But I'm going to put his holster in his, his blaster in his holster, only because he's got a very big hand, and I have a feeling that the moment I try to put it in there, I am a big fan of holsters. Thank you, Hasbro, for allowing them to exist, because holsters hold the weapons better than hands do a lot of times. Okay. There he is. All right. So there we have our, let's see if I can do a little bit better setup right now. We got our 3 cars, 1, 2, 3. We got our 7th sister. We got our Darth Maul with his lightsaber, her lightsaber, and her funky little droid thing. And there you have it. Okay, so that concludes, today's episode of Darthtuba's unboxing. If you like what you see, please continue to share and perhaps subscribe to my channel, Darthtuba, 2 words. You can also tweet or retweet my tweets at Twitter at Darthtuba, and email me darthtuba77@gmail.com. Please, suggestions, requests for things to be opened. I can't necessarily follow through on all of them, but I can, if I have something and it's still in its box and I can open it, or if it's something that I'm planning on getting anyway, I can see what I can do. Okay? So, once again, have a great week, and we'll see you with you.